It's about time, it's about time. Well, hello and welcome to the vlog. Thank you so much for watching last week. I'm glad everyone enjoyed seeing the beach. It was lovely. Apologies it was a bit windy. So I've come into the decidedly less windy confines of my office today to do the vlog. As I asked last week for questions, and I've got two brilliant ones this week, so I'm going to crack on with those. So the first question is from Katrina Merriweather. Hi Katrina, who is a fabulous book fiend. She has a brilliant blog. I'll put a link to it in the post that goes with this vlog, so that you can go and see her fabulous book reviews. Are wonderful. And she has a great question. She says, how much do you change in your books when they're translated for other countries? Well, actually, I've yet to be asked to change anything. Normally what happens, my books are in other languages. There's some countries that they go to that are English speaking, and it's just a straightforward, they just get published there, so we don't change anything. But then there's a lot of countries. I'm published in about 7 or 8 languages. It's changing. I've just signed a deal for a parcel for Anna Brown, which is the first one for her, and it's going to go to Russia, which I'm very excited about because I've been my first Russian version of my book. So I'll be really interested to see what they change, because obviously in a book there are cultural references. I don't get asked to change them, but I get told afterwards of things that have changed. So one example is that in the German edition, Die Wunderbare Welt der Rosie Duncan, which is basically Fairy Tale of New York in German. When they wrote that, there was one scene when I talk about, I think it's in Mimi's office, and her assistants are wearing Versace suits. And I make a comment that the suit is so sharp that you could carve a joint of beef with one sleeve. Obviously it's a very British, you know, the idea of a Sunday roast. And so I was told that it was changed to you could fillet a fish with one sleeve when it went to Germany, because that made more sense to a German audience. That's actually the only instance that I know of, but if anyone's read any of my foreign language editions, or if you'd like one of my foreign language editions, just let me know, because I have quite a lot of them sort of hanging around. I don't really know what to do with them. I would be really interested to know how much changes. It's very strange to open a book where you know every word that's written in it and read it in a different language and kind of recognise every now and again a few words. I speak a little bit of German, I speak a tiny bit of Russian. So it's interesting to sort of see what they change. So as of yet I haven't been asked to change anything. I know that my friends who've had books published in America, I'm still waiting for an American edition of one of my books. I'm hoping, let's keep fingers crossed, that I know that American editors will sometimes ask for certain phrases to be changed because they don't make much sense in America, whereas they're sort of British slang words or colloquialisms and stuff like that. I haven't had that yet. So really the answer is I don't really change anything, but the translators very often do, and I'm yet to find out what those are. So I hope that answers your question. And the next question is from lovely Rachel Hawes. Hi Rachel. Rachel is Rachel_Fusion on Twitter. And she wants to know, and I get asked this question a lot, so this is a really good question. How do I turn the first 2 drafts of my novel into something more and have the confidence to show other people? I think in terms of drafts, the best thing to do, if you've got a couple of drafts of a novel, if you complete it, but number one is complete the draft, get to the end, because like I've said before, you don't know your characters until you get to the end. Next thing to do is to really look at the key things that happen in your book. Make a bullet point list of the key things that happen in your story and see if the structure works, if it seems to work, if it breaks into kind of roughly 3 sections, which is kind of an act 1 where you set it up, you introduce all the characters and you introduce what the problem is, or the thing, or the adventure. Sort of act 2 is where all the action happens and you play it out and you work out how it's going to work, and then act 3 is where everything, hopefully all those threads come together and you get the conclusion of the story and sort of where the characters move to, and you hopefully get everything resolved at the end of the book. So try and split your story idea into that, and it means that you're being quite objective about it. which is really important, because when you write a first draft, you're being subjective, because you have to be subjective to live your characters. But when you come to edit it, you need to kind of be very left brain and very logical about it and work out if that works. Do that plan first and then go back and read it and see if it fits the plan that you want that story to be in. Because by the time you've written a couple of drafts of your novel, you know what the story is. It's really scary when you're writing a book. For a long time you don't show anybody. So when I was writing fairy tale, it was the best part of 7 years really, from start to when it got discovered on Autonomy and finishing it then. And during that time I showed about 3 people during 7 years. It's really quite scary to get it out there. So my best advice would be, find some people that you really trust, people that you feel, you know, would actually give you a really good impression of what that story's like at the moment, and what things that they'd like more of, and which things they thought worked really well and which things they didn't think were working so well. And then whatever they say, balance that against what you want from the book. So for some things, sometimes people will read something and they won't agree with it. But that doesn't necessarily mean to say it's a bad thing. It doesn't even mean to say that you've written it badly. It just means sometimes that you've not brought it out enough on the page. And then just start showing it to people, show it to, you know, send it to agents. I started a blog. I have a blog called September's Cafe, which has a whole load of short stories on. I put on there just to see what people would think. Just get it out there, you know, ask people on Twitter to read it. Put it on Wattpad. Wattpad's really good, you get some really good comments on that. Hope all that helps. But I think the main thing would be just do it, Rachel. Do it. Now, so where am I at? Well, I am in the middle of a structural edit on book 8, which is, the structural edit is kind of making sure all the main things are there, all the ingredients are there, and it's like a rough kind of edit of the book. And invariably it means writing more, which is quite strange because you think an edit would mean writing less. We currently have a published date of the 20th of October. That might change, but right now, book 8 will be on the 20th of October. We have got a title. I don't know if I can tell you just yet, so I'm going to check with my editor and then hopefully tell you soon. As soon as I can tell you, I will tell you. I know they're working on the cover. I haven't seen anything yet, but I'm looking forward to seeing that. So yeah, I'm just kind of getting down to it really, just writing, editing. I've got to get it in for the middle of next month, so I'm on track. And what I'm doing is writing new bits first, and then I'm going to go back to the original draft and take out the bits that I want to change and put the new bits in, and hopefully it will make a wonderful book. Let's hope. There we go, that's it for this week. Hope you enjoyed it. Send me your questions for next week because I'd love to know what you'd like me to talk about. You can contact me in the normal ways. You can leave a comment under this vlog, so make sure you subscribe to my channel, Miranda Writes, which is on youtube.com, and you will then, as soon as there's a new vlog, you'll be told that it's here. You can email me, mirandawordie@gmail.com. You can tweet me at wordsmith. You can send me a message on Facebook, Miranda Dickinson author. I think that's everything. Take care and have a lovely week. See you soon. Bye.
It's about time, it's about time.